I know that there was maybe a lot of chatter out there this weekend about, is there anything additional that Baylor or public health officials or anybody else is self-imposing on us? There is not. We are following those guidelines, those protocols, just like the rest of the Big 12. It's the same. It's the same protocol guideline for other Big 12 schools if they have a close contact. Their student athletes are also going into a self-quarantine for the 14 days. So we will continue as we have been, and Kenny and his team have done an unbelievable job, but we'll continue to communicate regularly with our public health officials, again, in the way we manage our positive tests and our primary contacts. So with that, I will open it up to any questions.
Reminder, please use the raise hand function if you would like to ask a question. The first question comes from John Werner from the Waco Tribune-Herald.
Good afternoon, John. John, I think you're on mute. One second, John.
John, can you try again now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Great. Mack, how confident that the team will be able to play Saturday are you?
So right now, a couple things, John. We're optimistic as it stands today at about 12:15 p.m. We'll have some young men return within that position group this week, throughout the week. We as part of the three tests that we have to implement on a weekly basis prior to game. That first test was yesterday, and so we'll receive those results, mid to late afternoon, and certainly, once we have those results, we'll know more. But just given the fact that we have some of those young men returning within that position group throughout the week, we feel good about playing Kansas.
Our next question comes from Matt Mosley with ESPN Radio Central Texas.
Mack, can you narrow down how many players actually tested positive? I think the whole contact tracing thing, and that was everybody was trying to get through that and figure out, okay, how much of this is contact tracing? How many student athletes actually tested positive? Can you shed any light on that?
Yeah, Matt, thank you for the question. And I don't have the exact numbers, and we have tried to stay away in terms of exact numbers per different sport programs, per obviously different positions because of the competitive piece of it. But it was approximately, and again, not exact, but approximately 50%. Half and half. 50% were out because of positive, and 50% were out because of the close contact.
Next question is from Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider.
Moving forward, will you try to reschedule that non-conference game, or are you just focusing on conference now?
It's a great question, Jerry, and we were intentional, obviously, about using the word postpone with really both contests, both La Tech and Houston. In the event that there may be some opportunity down the line to reschedule, the likelihood I don't think is great, but just given the uncertainty of everything that's going on and probably that continued uncertainty, we didn't want to close the door on either one of those contests.
The next question is from Max Olson with The Athletic.
Morning, Mac. I wanted to ask you, was it the Friday morning testing that identified that you had an issue with this position group?
It was really the Wednesday test that presented the problem. We knew that we potentially had an issue Thursday, and that's when I texted the athletic director, Chris Pesman at Houston, just with the potential issue.
And just to go off that, going forward here, kind of what's the responsibility in terms of, being transparent with your opponent about what you're dealing with during the week? Just how did that go last week?
Yeah, I think that, as you, and I don't certainly remember every day, but certainly Monday we felt very good about it. Tuesday we felt very good about it. Wednesday we felt pretty good about it, and then all of a sudden Thursday we weren't so sure, and that's when we reached out. So I think Houston we Baylor have been extremely transparent and upfront. Grateful to the way La Tech handled it right with us, and I think and hope we did the same with Houston, and we would expect the same of any opponent that we're playing, and so we're going to continue to be transparent and give as much of a heads up as you possibly can.
Next question is from Sam Kahn with ESPN.
Hey, Mac. Quick question. When did you actually guys make the final call? I assume at some point on Friday. And then also, you guys mentioned in the release that the home and home you were helping to still keep. Can you shed any light onto how that sits and kind of what you guys are looking for with the future home and home with Houston?
Yeah. Sam, I don't remember the exact time when we came to the conclusion we couldn't manipulate certain things to go ahead and play, and that was probably I'm guessing it was around 10:30 in the morning, right? Coach certainly informed staff, our 10 full-time. And then, I know Coach tried to reach out to Coach Holgerson to let him know, and I reached out to the Houston AD immediately.
And the home and home, are you guys still planning on that moving forward?
So yeah, Sam, the intent is still to play the home and home, and at some point in time here in the near future, we'll begin to look at potential dates and try to get those scheduled before the 2030 year.
Next question is from Jack Allen with KXXV TV in Waco.
Hey, Mac, thanks for doing this. You talked a lot about the players who are out because of contact tracing. What exactly is the window for them to be out, and how does testing play into that? If they have enough negative tests, is it possible to get them back on the field, or is that 14, I think is what you said, day window, a hard and fast rule no matter how many times they may test negative?
Yeah, so right now, and you said it, the close contact, primary contact, if they're identified as such, they go into a 14-day self-quarantine. And right now, there is no mechanism to test out of that. That's hard and fast rule, and I'm certainly looking over to Kenny to see if he has anything to add to that. Now, that's the conversation everybody's having, quite frankly. That's the conversation the Big 12's having. That's the conversation I'm sure the SEC's having. That's the conversation that the ACC's having, right? We're all having that conversation about is there a way, right, here in the future that you can test out of that, right? And you've seen certainly the Big 10 and the Pac-12. Part of coming back to play for them is this daily testing of all of their student athletes. But it remains to be seen whether or not anybody will be able to test out of the 14-day. And as of now, nobody can.
Any additional questions for Mack? Please use the raise hand function. All right, seeing none, we'll bring up Coach Aranda.
All right. Thank you all.